High contrast sans serifs have a long tradition in typography. These are faces with pronounced differences between their thickest and thinnest strokes. But they've often been the eccentric relative of the type family. They can look newfangled or old-fashioned or mechanistic. They can be exotic or funky. But what's missing is one that's chic, one that is not just practical, but up-to-date, smart, and elegant. And that's why we created Peristyle.
The personality of Peristyle has kind of different layers. The proportions of it have this seriousness and elegance, and because it's meant to be used quite large, this kind of impact about it. But it's also got this really playful quality without any florid detail. It sort of flirts with you as it sort of dips in and out of the surface of the page.
The interesting challenge with this typeface that we found was how can we create a texture and color through variation.
Typefaces like this one invite repeated gestures, and too many of these can make the text dull and monotonous. A lot of our work in Peristyle was trying to relieve that by adding additional motifs to the design that could play above the theme like an additional melody and counterpoint. There's the theme of the circle in letters like the lowercase I and R and Y, and the theme of the wedge in letters like G and K.
There was opportunities there to discover how we could interrupt that typical repetitiveness of vertical strokes.
It totally is a chameleon. When you put it with something else, it doesn't talk over the other font that it's paired with. It holds it up, it supports it, it makes the other one better. A lot of times I found myself looking to the shapes inside the characters, so the wedge of the lowercase k or the ear of the G looks really good with ball terminals in Archer, or the wedge serifs in Mercury. It actually seems to really like the companionship of a slab serif. Vitesse is another one, Sentinel is another one. When you pair it with other typefaces, its voice changes completely, that it's really musical with Surveyor and Sentinel, or it becomes very square and sporty with Vitesse and Forza.
The techniques we used in Peristyle to create a more interesting collection of parts works beautifully in a stencil alphabet, which is inherently a collection of parts.
The off-center bridges in the stencil gave it that sense that once it was a calligraphic form.
We did two things with the stencil. We created a standalone stencil typeface and also a pair of layered fonts to alternate which colors are used.
It was a total surprise to me, and I absolutely love it. I think it's now maybe my favorite part of the family.